Rise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We are back for another episode of our Patreon one-shots with a growing fan favorite, Zoo Mafia. Not Zookeeper, which is not a game. Zoo Mafia by our friends over at Nerdarchy. This is the third one-shot we've run, the second one I made up. This one is called Lucky Lizard's Eye. And if you like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do it is like these fine folks over on our Patreon. A link for that down below. You can join us at the $5 tier and get access to all of our after shows and hear all of our players' insights on all the episodes we do for the last 3 or so years. And right now there is a 7-day free trial at that tier, so go check it out for free. See if you like it, then stick around. While you're clicking on that link, click on the Discord link down there. Join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, I unleash zoo hijinks on my players here. And two, every single dollar that goes into that bar goes back to this channel for all kinds of cool things like artwork and editing and lighting and fancy tools and doodads and beep-bops and boop-bops and ratchet sets. I just had to pull out a ratchet set to fix my microphone because it broke. That's what. That's that behind the scenes right there. Perfect. That's it. I'm gonna kick it over to myself for a little bit of an intro here.
Take it away, Mike.
Take it away, Mike. Over to you in the studio. We are in a zoo in the 1920s, and in said zoo at nighttime, all of the animals stay animals, but are also in the Mafia. That's the long and short of this game. So, currently, in zoo, word around the zoo is that someone has gotten their hands on a powerful, ancient artifact. The Lucky Lizard's Eye is rumored to possess the magical powers to grant luck. This rare treasure is currently being held in the vault of the Chameleon's Casino. And you, the petting zoo crew, want it. So we start our first scene inside the hideout of the petting zoo crew, aka the petting zoo, where we see the zookeeper doing his rounds, his final checks on all the animals, clanking on cages. You see a few janitorial staff are taking out the trash and sweeping up cotton candy cones. And we see all of the staff from the zoo sort of meander out towards the main entrance and punch clocks for the night. And the zookeeper enters his main office. We see two security guards, Mike and Ike, who are doing their rounds on the outside, making sure all the parking lot is clear and all that good stuff. So the camera zooms in to the petting zoo. Who do we find first? Don't all talk at once.
I think you'll see up in a tree. You'll see a little branch shake and some leaves fall, and you hear a little of nails on bark, and you see a slim-looking raccoon, and Augie crawls headfirst down the trunk of the tree, and she is wearing, oddly enough, she's wearing a vest, buttoned up nice and neat, and it's got like paisley, like a really dirty paisley pattern to it, and the lights from the street lights around the zoo catch the glint on a really shoddy looking tiara that she found in the garbage. I think it's like a kid's tiara.
Yeah.
And she's got a pair of sunglasses on as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
For mechanical reasons, every time G and only G references the events of previous one-shots, she will get a -1 forward. Because G has requested
do something to wreck my fun.
G has requested that we no longer have an anthology of Zookeeper, and it's just strictly one-shot. So if she breaks her own rule, it's -1 forward for G.
Well, it's a good thing we're playing Zoo Mafia, not Zookeeper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did I say Zookeeper again? Oh my god, I'm gonna get disowned by Nerdarchy. They're just gonna fire me.
We're gonna need some sort of swear jar for every time you say Zookeeper.
Yeah.
And you're gonna, and instead of zookeeper, you're gonna have to say animal care professional.
Anytime
Yeah.
I say zookeeper instead of zoo mafia, someone gets +1 forward. That's how this goes.
Say, do I win? Do I get one?
You do. You get the
Yeah.
first one,
All right.
Melissa. You start off with +1. And as Chris pointed out in the last game, it is a +1 or -1 on your next roll. However, if you get a +1 and a -1 before you end up rolling, I'll let you cancel them out. Cool. So Augie scurries down the tree into the petting zoo area. Who is next to show up?
I think Aki will show up next. Aki matching Augie. I didn't realize we had such nice rhymey names.
Yeah.
So he like Augie scurries down a tree. The branches and leaves of the tree shaking and leaves falling as a result due to all the mad energy, and jumps once leaping to the ground to Augie's shoulder and holds out his hand, where inside there's a treasure, a partially sucked upon candy in a crumbled wrapper, and said, "Hey, look, Augie, found something for you."
The wrap is so shiny. And she like takes it and it's like crunkle, crunkle, crunkle. And she's like, "You want some?" And you're like, "You want some?"
"No, I already had some, thanks."
And she puts, and then she like smooths the wrapper out, and she tucks. She folds it and puts it in her pocket, like one of those pocket squares.
For some reason, I see there's a children's movie called Nemo, Master of Dreamland, or something like that. Nemo's Adventures in Dreamlands, and there's a character called Flick who is a flea. But he has like a cigar, like the one that like explodes, like from the cartoons. He has like one of those that he's chewing on, and like the fingerless gloves, and like a hat that's got like the floppy top, like the top hat with the broken top on it, like it get punched out. And that's how I see Augie dressed in my head, regardless of your description. I just chewing on a cigar. I don't know why, like a little
in my
lady Danny
display-
DeVito.
In my display picture, I do have a cigarette butt in my mouth.
Perfect. So Augie and Aki have arrived. Who is next to enter the petting zoo? Uis or
Yo,
Dima?
oi, you down there. What you doing?
You talking to us?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Where are you?
Up
Show
here.
yourself.
Can't you see me? I am up here.
She looks.
What do we see?
Up in the tree, you see a small burb
Ooh.
with
Like
a
how
bowler
small?
hat.
Like,
You know how big like a canary or a cardinal are?
okay.
That
So small.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice.
With a
Hey
bowler
there,
hat, you said?
Dima.
Yes, a bowler hat on.
Love that.
Hey there, Dima. How you doing?
Doing good.
You know this guy?
Yeah, I know everyone. I know people.
Yeah.
Aki know everybody.
I gotta know more people.
That's true. And our last petting zoo crew member.
Yeah, you hear a sort of a squeal of old-timey thin tires. You don't, and a lot of smoke. And from out of this smoke steps a dapper orangutan. He's about 4'5", 300 pounds, and as wide or wider than he is tall. And he struts out knuckle walking. He's wearing a fine zoot suit in a really clashing print. It's 3 pieces, tie done up really tight. He's wearing a huge wide brimmed fedora with a peacock feather sticking out of it. And he just shambles on in over the wall of the petting zoo because it's not very high. It's only meant to keep small animals in.
Mhm. Hey, it's Lou. Looking sharp today, Lou.
Evening. Tips his hat. How we doing, gentlemen?
I'm a girl.
Good day to find that lucky lizard's eye.
Yeah, I hear rumors. Been driving my taxi, and then he takes off his hat and lady.
And she
Yeah.
curtsies like a raccoon would. So when we find this lucky lizard's eye, what are you guys gonna wish for? No, we don't wish. What are you guys gonna get lucky for?
Poker. There's a game going on at the organ grinder,
The organ grinder.
the monkey bar,
Oh,
speakeasy, you call it in this country.
cool.
Back room. My father-in-law, Sumerian Sammy, runs the place.
I hope I get my extra hot dog water. Yes. Fresh.
Fresh hot dog water?
Yeah.
I'll be on the lookout for you. You know, I'm an accountant. You know, I keep your books too, Augie, right? Sometimes I
have
cook books a
books?
little. Sometimes I cook books a little bit too warm, you know. And so I'm hoping for for that not to be noticed.
Yeah. Okay. I'll help you out.
Or oven gloves.
You can cook my books. Mhm.
As you discuss what potential future a luckier version of you might have, you hear the slow padded footprints or footfalls of a as much a resident to the zoo as Augie and Aki are, and you see a red tabby cat who looks like there's like a stripe down like their front and to like a white belly, and like the stripe kind of runs down their back. It almost looks like they're wearing pants, suspended pants, but it's just the fur. And you see this cat sort of slink over, very nonchalant, over to the petting zoo area, and sort of put its two front paws up on the rail separated into of the sections of here, and sort of leans on one elbow, and says, "Did I hear you talking about the lucky lizard's eye?" And
No.
Everybody is talking
From the tree, you
about-
just hear no.
who said
Everybody is talking about the lizard's eye.
the tasty treat?
Yeah.
I can smell a tasty treat. I
No, you don't, you stupid cat.
What's it to you, Tabby?
may know a thing about it. And you all look and turn and see this tabby cat, and you know his name is Meowrio the alley cat. Gee, how dare you? How dare you?
Yeah. What?
I could feel the heat of that eye roll.
Meowrio Lopez.
Meow. It's not Meowrio Lopez. It's Meowrio, okay?
Where's his,
Meowrio the alley cat.
do they have a brother named Muligi?
Yeah, they do.
Yes, and there is an evil counterpart.
Yes. So
What would a tabby cat know about a lucky lizard's eye?
I know a lot of things about a lot of things, you dirty raccoon. I'll tell you what. I know.
Who's dirty?
I
Yeah,
know
Californian trap.
that not only is the lizard's eye at the Chameleon's casino, but I know that Al Capone has a plot to get it. He's going to try to break into the vault tonight. So if you want it, you better get it before he does.
And Augie kind of leans over to Aki. Who runs the casino?
Who runs the casino, Mike?
The Chameleon Brothers.
Chameleon.
Ah.
The
What's the
Chameleon
little-
Brothers.
Oh, okay.
Man, those blokes ain't nothing. When you've had as many encounters back home as I've had, with the crayfish twins, with Reggie and Ronnie. All you Yanks ain't got nothing.
What do you know about the casino, Yario?
Well, I know that there's a big game going on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Al Capone's going. I know that he's got a bunch of his little henchmen's going. I know that Holly Hippopotamus is going. I know that a few big high rollers, some whales, but not the whales, are headed over
Now,
there.
that would be really quite inconvenient unless you had the game at the Whale House.
Well, no, it's at the Chameleon's Casino. But they could make a tank. It's a complicated thing. But I know that during this, there's supposed to be some sort of kerfuffle, and that's when they're gonna strike.
What kind
It's
of
heavily guarded.
kerfuffle?
I don't know. I'm not in the crew. I don't know everything. I just hear things from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it's
So-
heavily guarded.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you don't
Heavily-
want this lucky eye for yourself?
Yeah, that's
Who's
got to be
to s-
worth at least 50
who's-
cans of tuna.
Who's
Good.
to say I can't get it myself? I'm just saying. If it's,
Mm.
I'm not one to go against Al Capone right now.
And if you are, what would you do?
Go against Al Capone? Well, I'd eat it.
No. What? How would you
Oh.
get it?
Well, I'd slink in there under the cover of, I guess, a distraction, and I'd sneak past all the security, the guards, and the vault door, and I'd slink my way in there, and I'd snatch it up. That's what I'd do.
You'd make a distraction before the distraction.
It's a double distraction. It's like a
Mhm.
what do you call them? Like a crisscross. It's like a double cross, but with double distractions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
but
Mm-hmm.
that's just off the top of my head. If I had time to think about it, maybe I'd think about something different.
You're all rabbit and pork, cat. I mean, you work with us and we'll cut you in for a nice slice of all the sausage and mash we rake in. I mean, greenbacks.
All right. I mean, I already brought you some information, so if you want to cut me into something, I'll take it.
You want to come along?
I don't think it's not really my bag per se to jump in there and start a kerfuffle on my own. I more like to watch and see what happens at the end of things, and then maybe I'll owe you a favor, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't really get my hands dirty.
Well, I think if we're going to cut you in, we need a little bit more.
Roll me a magnetism. I wasn't scroll all the way down. That is a success. He looks to me and says, man, I don't know if I got a little bit more. What else do you need?
Who else have you told about this information?
Oh, I haven't told anybody. I overheard. I was in the right place at the right time, snoozing in the tree branch, and I heard Al Capone over at the aviary talking to a few of his goons about his plan to during the game tonight to steal it. I don't know much more than that, but I haven't told anybody. Tight lips.
I got
Well, what's your idea, Augie? I got a little thought too.
I think that we go and we maybe drop a little hint as I scroll back through my notes to our favorite little drop bear. What's the name of that reporter?
Oh, Outback Alice.
Yeah. We drop a little tidbit of information to Outback Alice saying that our good old Don friend Al Capone is setting up a heist. Draw some attention to what he's doing and hopefully disrupt it. And she like with her
Well,
claws.
Well, since we're cutting Miario in here, I think maybe Miario should go take care of that.
Hear
What do
the
you think,
small
Meow
flutter
Meow?
of wings land free. Do you need Dima to do it?
Sure.
Sure.
Do you know who Outback Alice is?
Of course I know who she is.
Okay. Outback Alice.
And make
Just
sure
hand-
that Koala
Just
pays
hand
cash
Dima a
up
note.
front.
Just hand Dima a note I can drop to her.
Okay.
Aki Aki pulls out some papers and scribbles a note together outlining the rumor that they have heard from Miario about Al Capone's intentions for the big game tonight.
We wouldn't want that information falling into the Chameleon Brothers' hands, now would we?
Now, Aki is really good at papers, and so is able to disguise his handwriting so that no one would recognize it.
You have forgery, right? That's an ability you have.
I've got the papers.
Okay. So roll me. Is there a roll associated with I've got the papers?
It's roll plus sly.
Go ahead and make that sly roll then.
Go.
Oh, failure.
What happens on a failure for
Double.
this move?
Let's see, a double failure. Okay, so
Oh, it is failures with doubles. So read what you have, and I'll tell you what else there is.
It says you're a master forger and can duplicate or create documents. And then it just says 1 to 6 is a failure, so it doesn't.
Okay,
imply-
so
oh wait,
one-
but you know what? I have +1 going forward. Is that going to be a 6? Does that? Oh, it's still a 6.
Oh,
It's
you have
still
a +1
failure.
going forward. It would be a 7.
Oh, is it? No. Oh, it is a 7. Okay,
Yep.
yeah. So it's a 7.
So
All right.
that's a success.
So, but with doubles, I don't know what that means.
So what does a success with consequence do for your ability?
It says they look good, but there is a complication.
Okay. Cool. Success with a consequence is, you didn't actually roll an enemy boss with just regular doubles. So success with consequence, you get a -1 forward, and you get to give a +1 forward. So your next roll has a -1, and someone else will have a +1 in their next roll. So who are you giving that to?
I'm going to give that to Augie.
Great. Okay, so you have written a note to Outback Alice detailing the information you've gotten from Miario. Dima is going to deliver that to the Daily Zoo, and the complication is Outback Alice is out sick. So you have to give it to someone else.
Dima is going to roll my start of a job move, network of eyes and ears, while I'm doing this.
Go ahead. Cool. Success with a consequence.
Ally boss.
Yep. So same. So success with a consequence with an ally boss is success. It's the same thing. Doubles with the. So give a -1. So you get a -1 forward, and you get to give 2 +1 forwards.
1 to Augie and Aki each.
Great.
Ooh.
So Aki, if you'd like to cancel out your -1, you can just do that.
Thank you.
Perfect. So what does that ability do for you?
Basically, it's a start of the job. Actually, basically, if I succeed, I get. If I fail, -1 forward. If I get that was a 9, I
was a
gain
9.
2 holds.
Okay, so hold is you get to ask me questions. So what questions do you have about your network of eyes and ears?
Where does my network of eyes and ears say she is that she's sick?
She is at home. She is in the Outback exhibit in her tree at home, nursing a what she is calling a cold, but you know because of your network of eyes and ears is a eucalyptus hangover. So She's a little drunk on the job, so they sent her home.
Scandalous.
Average for a koala.
How long would it take the information to circulate if I just handed it to her directly if she's got a hangover?
Handed it to her. Way longer than than tonight's game. She's not at work, so she's not. She wouldn't do it until either tomorrow night or the next night. She is not available. You can hand it to anyone else in the Daily Zoo, and it would circulate probably just as fast. Yeah, the Daily Zoo is pretty spot on with their reporting.
Dima is curious if she has like a preferred person she would point to, so he would probably knock on Outback Alice's door anyway.
Okay. Yeah. She you see her look like she has a hangover, right? She has eyes are sort of droopy. She sort of seems out of it. And she looks over to you as you ask this question. And she says, yeah, there's someone, yeah, sorry, I'm a little, Stella, we call her Whiskers. She's a walrus. She works in she works in I don't know, photography. She helps develop pictures. And she's usually pretty spot on about her reporting as well. Her and I, we work close together in the photo department. So she would know how to get it to.
Dima understands. And Dima will go find Stella the Walrus. Hello. Dima has a message for you. Outback Alice seems to be quite drunk, so she told me hand this to you.
Oh, I'll take that. And she pulls back this I assume to be a small note because it's written by a squirrel. And she opens it with her big walrus hands, or her big walrus flippers, and reads, I'll get down there right away. And she closes it back up, puts it into a little like purse that she has slung around her, and you see her start to seal walrus her way down towards the casino, ready to go. You have
that
delivered
Dima
your
job
message.
is done.
So the camera follows Dima as they fly back towards the petting zoo. What are the rest of you doing? Your plan seems to be in action.
Lou will have sourced a clean vehicle for this job because getting to the safe, yeah, that's probably doable with a distraction. It's getting us out and clean that Lou is concerned about.
Yeah, you roll me. Let's see. Roll me.
It's licensed. I've got license to drive, so I can roll plus magnetism
To get a vehicle?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, roll me that.
So that'll be magnetism.
A 7 is a success with consequence. Okay, cool. You get one of the zoo's golf carts. You get it from the Congo exhibit. It's called the Congo Bongo, is this, and it is decorated with jingly bananas around the top of this thing. And the horn is bongo drums. It's yellow. It's bright yellow. And it is painted to look sort of banana themed.
Oh, more kids would love this.
So it's not discreet. That is your consequence. There is no discretion with this vehicle.
I'm changing the plates on this. The kids will love it.
You do. You take off the plate that says CNGO BNGO, and you just take it off. So you drive that back as Dima flies back. Augie and Aki, what are you two doing as your two cohorts have gone off to start your plan?
I think Aki wants to work through the plan with Augie, so he would broach that topic. So I think we better get in before they start to raise security even further once that news gets out.
Yeah. And I think we should use our perfect size for sneaking around. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I'm really good at getting through like the ceiling tiles.
You're
Yeah,
absolutely the best at it.
yeah. They'll never see us coming.
So as soon as Dima gets here and Lou brings the car, we'll head out.
Yeah. And I
What do you
can
mean as
crack.
soon as I get here? I am already here.
Oh, hey there, Dima.
How long have you been here?
Quite some time.
Good. All right. So you know the plan then. Lou can act as a distraction in the casino. He can like talk up all the dons and hypnotize them with his British ways, and then the three of us, you'll keep watch because you're tiny, Dima. You're tiny and you got good eyes. You got those bird eyes, right? And then we will sneak in through the ceiling and I'll crack that safe wide open. That's what I do.
Also, for fun, Melissa, Aki knows that since you know somebody, the Chameleon brothers, there are 3 of them. There are 2 twins who are Cam and Leo, also known as the Colorful Conman. Cam is charismatic and charming, and Leo is analytical and strategic. And then the third brother, who doesn't really own the casino per se, but does work there. His name is Pascal, also known as the Master of Illusions, as he calls himself. He is an illusionist who performs at the casino nightly. But they are 3-part owners of the casino.
Mm,
Aki shares that information with the team.
interesting.
Well, the way I see it is, how much does the politics tricks chameleon owner of the casino? Maybe we can play him off against his brothers. No one fights like family.
Yeah. So, what does Aki know any more? Can Aki? Can we roll here for people?
Yeah, go ahead and roll for it.
See what whether or not he might know what would best distract the brothers, or how to set them against one another, something along those lines.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for it.
All right, let's see. Magnetism. So that is a success.
That is a big old success. That is a full success, not a critical, but a full success. Actually, oh no, you had a +1 and a -1, so you cancel each other out. Okay. Cool. So, that is a success. The brothers are not in any kind of feud. They're on good terms with each other. So you'd have to offer something quite hefty to sort of play them against each other. Obviously, Cam and Leo are closer, being twins, but Pascal is they're brothers. They run the show, and Pascal is a performer by choice, not by being forced out of the family. So playing them against each other is possible, but probably not the best distraction here. You know that there is a high stakes whale level game of something, of some sort of betting game, poker, perhaps blackjack. You're not entirely sure, but it is going to draw a large crowd. You now know that there is also a member of the news there. So really, a small attempt at burglary could draw a lot of attention. You know that the casino itself has security in the ways of the dung beetle security forces. So they are fully staffed by a security battalion of dung beetles. And you know that the item in question is in a vault, probably behind some sort of a lock. So really, any big scene that draws a lot of security is the kind of thing that you think would get you to the vault. Anything that could draw a lot of eyes.
So here's what I think, Lou. I think you need to get in on that game. And then I think you need to be caught cheating. And then you need to raise a big ruckus and scene, assuming and insisting that you did nothing wrong and that they're out to get you and steal your money.
I can do it.
Yeah,
or I burn the place down.
Yeah.
maybe. Hey, Augie, you sitting on anything particularly good from a dumpster? I thought maybe that might be a good way to get rid of the dung beetles.
Yeah.
I mean, something they can't pass up. That's gonna be like Christmas, Hanukkah, all rolled in one for them.
Do you think they like hot dog water?
I'm thinking 20-30% stinkier.
You just get like canteens of it.
She's got a flask on her hip.
We're gonna start. We're gonna
Maybe set off fire alarm? Dima has flare.
What do you have in mind, Lou? I have stashes all over the place. Is there anything in particular you think that we might need in order to lure these folks away?
like
well, the-
primo dung. We're talking lion, big cat.
Primo dung. I might have some of that. And Aki's gonna roll
You
ace in
do?
the hole.
We could go.
Wait for some primo dung.
We could go to the zookeeper's shed.
I
have
also
some
am
there.
curious how you have this. Melissa, what does Ace in the Hole do?
You can access a stash of goods, supplies, and cash stored all over and with various contacts once per job. With a success, you acquire what you want.
Yeah, okay. Roll for Ace in the Hole.
A doggy bag of
Oh,
dung.
not so good.
Oh, that is an
That's a
absolute
fail.
failure. So what does a failure get you?
A failure is just a failure. It says failure.
Okay.
Stash
so-
got raided.
Cool. So you get 1 XP for this. Every failure gets you 1 XP. Cool. Yeah, so you go through your Rolodex of your stash houses, and unfortunately none of them contain quote unquote primo dung. You only
Okay,
have
so-
bottom shelf dung.
Yeah. And that's right up Augie's alley. It's like, does it have to be primo?
Yeah, so Aki returns with a small sack. From where he scurried into a hole in the tree. Returns with a small paper sack and hands that over to Augie. What do you think? What do you think, Augie? Is this primo?
She looks squirrel droppings.
It's just Aki's. It wasn't a stash. It was just Aki's bathroom. He just nips off. He just nips off to his own little outhouse and just pulls out this little.
Well,
You
we're gonna
guys
need a
don't
lot
have indoor
more.
plumbing in
They
the small animal enclosure. Ooh.
They have about 2,500 dung beetles there. We're gonna need a lot more of this.
Okay, I'll get started.
Oh, okay. I don't think we have time. Can we scurry around the petting zoo and collect dung?
Oh fuck! Oh golly, gee willikers. Yeah, you can scurry around and collect. Nothing in the petting zoo is what Lou would consider primo dung
Yeah.
either.
This is lowbrow dung.
Lowbrow, yeah.
Yeah. It's so yeah, like there's goats, there's rabbits, and some ducks.
Still stuck on. All right, I'll get started. Fuck. Yeah, there are.
my time with
It's basically like farm-ish animals. So like there are some
Yeah.
goats. There's like a chicken coop. There is, we'll say, a rabbit hutch. Sure. Why not?
It's all herbivore, so it's all dry.
Yeah. It's dry and little pellets. Fantastic. So you get together a shopping bag sized pile of animal pellets, of animal poo pellets.
We can sprinkle these all over the casino, and it will confuse the nose of the security guards.
The best we
Right?
got.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, Lou, you're still gonna do the thing, right? You're gonna do the thing.
Sure. Or worst thing happens, I burn the place down.
Well, let's not go that far yet.
Now, just remember,
Yeah.
by the end of the night, you still need to be free to drive us away.
Yeah. So I don't think Dima can carry us.
No, you too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we better get started before the news gets out.
Yeah, let's go. And they're
We need to get ahead of this news cycle.
So you all pop into the Congo Bongo, and you head over to the Chameleon Casino. You see that there are a bunch of other golf carts from various exhibits sort of lined up. Each one has like a coachman with the coachman's hat sort of leaning outside of them. There is a red carpet leading into the casino. There's a like a stanchion with ropes kind of leading away, like is a very exclusive, and there is a big, far bigger than tiny gorilla at the front gate, and he has a bow tie and just that that Looney Tunes-esque insert for the tuxedo, so it just looks like he has like a bib, like a shirt bib, coming down to look official, and he stands there and he has a clipboard. And you see that he's checking off names of people as they sort of come through. And you see a lion walk through with a lioness, and he has she has an actual mink as a scarf. It's a live animal as they walk in, tip his hat to the fucking cartoon calamity.
How much does a
I'm
man
hoping,
make?
yeah. I'm hoping I'm hoping the casino doorman's like called Magilla Gorilla.
No, I can't steal from Hanna-Barbera that much. But you see,
You can. I'm pretty sure their business is folded.
yeah, they're still out there. So you see there
Well,
is
still under the
security
thing of
at
Warner
the
Brothers.
outside in the form of some kind of goon. How are you guys getting in? No one has an actual invitation to this game.
yeah. Augie is a creeper and she gets into small places
Okay.
and she can crawl up walls and go through vents. Can I roll something to to see another way inside?
Do you have an ability here, or are you just trying to bullshit me into giving you a roll?
Bullshitting you into giving me
Great.
a roll.
Perfect. Roll me. Roll me. Put your peepers to work. So awareness plus awareness.
Let's go.
An
Woo!
11. An 11 with doubles. And a neutral boss. Hot damn. Let's see. What does that get you? Doubles with a neutral boss on an 11. Success. Give everyone +1 forward. Hell yeah.
Yay.
Cool. So
Yeah, no
everyone has a
neutral.
+1 forward on your next roll if you had a -1
I'm neutral
previously.
now.
Great. So that is a success. You find a vent inside this exhibit, inside the reptile house. That is on the ceiling, like on the roof. Like you got to climb up here. You're going through like vines and stuff. You see that this is a like a duct fan. But it's rusty. It's the hinge is sort of broken, and you know that for sure you and Aki and Dima, if they are willing to, fly into a tunnel here, can fit in this. But it is far too small for an orangutan to actually climb through. So the three of you can get in, but you can't get Lou in this way.
No. I'm hoping Lou can sweet talk his way in. Hopefully.
Well, Aki's gonna reach into his vest and pull out an invitation for Lou.
Are you gonna roll your forge? What's the forge ability?
I got the papers.
You got the papers. So roll me. I got the papers.
Nice.
That's an 8.
A
Nice.
success. A
consequence.
7 is a success with consequence.
I got a
and
+1 forward, so it's an 8.
oh, it's an 8. Okay, cool. So that is still a success with consequence.
yeah.
So success with consequence, you get a -1 forward, and you get to give a +1 forward.
Well, we're gonna give that to Lou.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lou, you should have 2 +1
Yeah.
forwards going right now. And Aki, you have a -1 forward. So you have, what do these papers look like? What is this? It's an invitation?
It's a written invitation. It looks legit.
Okay. Success with consequence. It's a written invitation. Okay, outstanding.
Full size.
Outstanding. So you pull, and again, just for everyone at home, my vision should be your vision for this one thing, is that Aki has a small squirrel-sized clutch bag, whatever, that pulls out full-size things.
Yes.
Not crumpled, just full-size, cartoon-esque portable hole.
This has been established in prior games.
Yeah. I just want to
The
make
card
sure
catalog
everyone.
Rolodex, like,
Yeah. Everything that Aki pulls out is full size out of a squirrel-sized bag. So very Mary Poppins, like the lamp coming out.
yeah.
So you pull out a well-forged document here saying that Lou has an invitation to this. You hand it over to Lou. Lou, you make your way up to this gorilla, which for you, Profo, it's named McGillicuddy gorilla, which is a cousin to Magilla. So you've seen him around. He's a goon for hire. So McGillicuddy, he looks down the list and he doesn't see your name, but he says, "Oh yeah, you got an invitation here."
Yeah, Mac sure do. He sort of unravels. I imagine it's a scroll.
Sure, yeah.
that was
He
passed
sort of
to him.
like flaps it down so it kind of rolls all the way out, and he says, "All right, I cordially invite you to blah 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 in the name of Lieutenant." Okay, all right. And he
Last
and it sort of
minute.
cinches
Is my
back up.
father-in-law inside yet? Sumatra and Sammy Sims. He's on the list.
Yeah, I don't see him on the list here, but I'll take your word for it. Anyway, and he takes the invitation and sort of puts it into the into like his invitation bag. And he says, "All right, you're in." And he pencils your name on the list.
He sort of tips his hat. He tips his hat.
Perfect.
Meanwhile, the three of us are at a tree going.
So you see Lou get in. The disguise or the farce worked, Aki. The three of you
Oh, he's
left.
still wearing
Oh, go ahead.
He's still wearing his own clothes. There is no
Oh, yeah.
disguise.
Of course,
I don't
of
think
course.
you can disguise a 300-pound orangutan
Well,
quite easily.
the three of you left on the outside. How are you getting in? Are you going in through this tunnel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dima, you want to ride? And she points to her shoulder.
I don't need ride. It is just vent.
You want to? Okay. You want to find the vent? Okay. And she's just gonna.
I mean, I'll take a ride.
Yeah.
So elevator up. So Augie, Aki, and Dima, you guys head towards the roof. Easily move this it's like a spinny top kind of fan off the side of this tunnel, and you get in through the vents. Now once you get down, every once in a while there is a down not a shaft, but there's a down vent that looks down into this place, and there are side vents. You get down and you can get in and see the main area, and you see Lou is sort of like knuckling his way through. You see that the casino is packed at its normal capacity, but you see that the people on the list are being sort of led into a certain area. Also guarded by people, and you do see that there are at any given angle that you're looking at in your eyesight, there are dozens of little stag beetles in suits that are walking around on their back legs, and you see their two front legs sort of just going like this as they are walking through the area, surveilling everyone. Are you guys tracking Lou to the table, or are you guys headed right towards the vault? What is your plan here?
Augie would like to head towards where she thinks the vault would be. And I realized I had +2 forward for that awareness roll. So are they gone now?
Yes, if you had +2 forward, it's on your next roll, so you use those up.
And so they have to be used together. It's not like +1 and +1.
It's supposed to be your next roll. I'll say you can either do +2 or +1 and +1. I'll let that go. I don't think there's any specific rules for that.
Okay, I'll cross one out.
Cool.
And then I'll have one left. Okay, so she's gonna move towards where she thinks the safe would be, because she is the ultimate safe cracker. So wherever a safe is or where it should be, she knows. She knows
Okay.
where.
Is that a safe cracker move, or is that just you? Okay, cool. Roll me. Put your peepers to work. So plus awareness.
And that's with my last +1.
And with your +1.
forward, So a 12.
So that is a 12 with doubles. No bosses here. So 12 with doubles is a critical success, and you get +1 forward. So you are looking through these vents as you sort of quietly pass, right? I assume Dima is sort of just like fluttering through this stuff, not making any noise. Aki's on your back, so it's really only you that needs to worry about stealth.
Dima is hopping along the vent line.
Perfect. Every once in a while, you hear a little
Bird.
scratch sound. You are quietly making your way through here, stopping at each vent, sort of looking around. You see where they are funneling the special guests to, and you see like where food is being brought in and out of. So you know it's not the kitchens, you know it's not where the guests are, and you sort of narrow it down that there is a door in the back of this area that has a another gorilla guard sort of out there, and you see the door doesn't open because it's like a full size, like you can fit a gorilla through it door. But you do see at the bottom of it there is a 1.5 foot high smaller door that you see open, and out of it walks Cam and Leo. So you know that there's probably private offices back there, and if you had to guess, being a master safecracker, you would keep your private offices and the safe in a similar area. So you know beyond that door is where this is, and that's where you have to get to.
Okay. Now, can we traverse the air vents to get through there?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Just checking.
Great. Is that where you're headed?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you didn't work it out before. So, you guys head towards this area. And we see you guys recede around corners and dips and banks, and you vanish into nowhere. Lou, you are escorted towards the VIP area. You see a veritable who's who of people in the zoo. You see Benny Beekman, the Finch. You know, he's a little bit of an underground kind of guy. You see a panther named Clossum Gloria. At this point, I just make shit up. At this point, I'm living for G's eye rolls. You see Lily Featherfoot, the flamingo, Sammy Scales, who is a salamander who has like a sort of salamander entourage, and you see a rhinoceros who is reared up onto just his back legs, and he is wearing flashy red trunks, and he's sort of boxing, shadow boxing, and you see Rumble Rocky, the rhino. He is a well-known boxer here at the zoo. And he says, hey, get in the ring, get in the ring. And he sort of playfully shadow boxes at you. And of course, Penny Paws the porcupine is also there. You see all these people, and then the room sort of gets a little hush as you see a 4-pack of gorillas walk in here. And you see two, what do you call them? Like chicken hawks, sort of flying overhead. And you see Al Capone standing, and he has this like great snowy owl, full business suit, his sort of wings pushed back. You see like a ring on his clawed foot as he sort of walks through, and everyone notices that Al Capone has entered here. And then behind him, you see Cam and Leo, the chameleon, sort of walk in. This is where the consequence, the success with consequence comes in from Aki's. You look around, Lou, and you see there's a number of tables for all of the people playing in this game. And you quickly scan around, and you see that everyone here has a seat with a reserved sign with their name on it, except for Lou Tanner. There is no sign here, and you begin to see everyone sort of start to get to their tables, and you are left out. There is no seat for you at the table, Lou. So what are you doing as everyone sort of gets to their table, and it becomes more and more obvious that you are not a player in these games?
Oh god, does he cause a scene or does he try and just brush it up?
That's the question.
because he knows that you're not going to have got there in time. So yeah, he's going to try and coolly brush it off. Just
Okay. I believe that is going to be a. I want to say it's going to be a sly. So
yeah.
roll me plus sly.
So it's this was a +2. That takes
Okay,
me
so-
up to
so-
what, a 8.
That's an 8. So an 8 is a success with consequence. Cool. So success with consequences. You play it off as you get in here. And
I think these guys don't have an orangutan-sized seat.
that is true. You
Very
begin
inclusive.
to play it off. No one's come over to you to be like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And then you see the door open again as you realize everyone's sort of going to their seats. And you see the door open. It sort of like bursts in, not like aggressively, but it does burst in. And you see Stella, the walrus, sort of start to flop into here. And you see a camera, an old timey camera around her neck as she hops in, and you know that your pal Dima alerted the press that there was a high stakes thing going on here. So you sort of sidle up next to Stella and sort of act like you might have been part of the press kind of thing, and no one questions that you're standing together. They just assume.
Yeah. It's like they could have hired a driver for
Yeah.
the evening.
Yeah, or an intern, whatever.
They do that all the time.
Yeah, of course, for special things like this. So no one questions your presence there. And a short speech from Cam and Leo happens as everyone sits down. Drinks are passed out. You see a bunch of meerkats that just sort of have the tray like towards the top of their head. They just come out and they're seat level, so you just reach down with your and put it right up to your table.
Hey, don't those guys have an insurance website on the side?
They might. So you
Must be
see.
failing.
You see this all happen. Cam and Leo give a short little speech, welcoming people, thanking for the donations to the Chameleon Casino. You can tell this was a charity event, which is also called money laundering. And then you see Pascal come out, and Pascal does a very typical illusionist magician's act, right? He pulls. He pulls a rabbit out of the hat. The rabbit pulls out a cigar and smokes it and says, "Hey!" It puts the rabbit back in the hat. He pulls a bunch of birds out of his vest. They fly around. They deliver drinks to people. It's a whole thing. And as that ends, you know that this has taken enough time for your allies to. You assume that this has taken enough time for your allies to have found the vault and gotten to it. Pascal, Cam, and Leo, they all take a bow. They thank everybody again. And then the cards begin to get passed out at the table. You see that Stella is taking pictures, going around in a veritable who's who of the zoo. What are you going to do, Lou? You know you had to make a distraction of some kind. What kind, and how do you do that?
Lou is smoking an obnoxiously big cigar that's wrapped in banana leaves, and there's a lot of alcohol around this place. Maybe some ash will accidentally spill, and there'll be a small fire that requires some assistance from from security.
Okay. Roll me plus sly. Unless you want to be seen doing this.
No.
Okay.
Always make it look like an accident. That's
Okay,
what we did with the Crayfish Boys.
So an 11 is a success. So you lean over something or you walk by something and a little just dab of ash falls into one of the high proof banana rums.
And he'll just grab a towel from one of the servers and just add to the flame.
Yeah, you like reach down, you whip one of the towels off the waist of one of the meerkats. He stumbles back, drops his tray of banana rum. That sort of smashes on the ground, and you sort of like dab at to put out the fire. That topples the glass over. It hits the other rum that just spilled on the floor. Now there's a one alarm fire going on here. People are jumping back from the table. Someone bumps someone else. Another glass gets spilled, and a dominoes effect of flaming peanut rum happens.
Ladies and germs, the house is on fire.
You hear a couple of laughs as no one's taking this quite as serious yet. You see a bunch of meerkats sort of running around trying to splash on water. Cam is trying to
Scream.
Yes, exactly. Cam is trying to calm everyone down, where Leo is trying to panic, or is currently panicking. And you see Pascal like throw out magic tricks to try to put out the fire. Those ignite immediately. Flash paper, and the camera cuts to a ventilation shaft where Dima, Augie, and Aki stand around a down vent. You had just seen several of the stag beetles that were here. They were checking something like on the walls. You see them like scurry up the walls, look around. You see them scurry down, and a bunch of them leave the tunnel to the vault, which you see in the as you kind of like cock your head to one side and look. You see like the bottom corners of the vault. But what the stags were looking at or checking, you're not entirely sure. So, what are the three of you doing as you stand inside the air shaft and looking out through the vent? What are you doing?
Do we have a way to see what they were checking?
We can put our peepers to work.
You can put your peepers to work, but you from where you are, you can't see anything through the grate. You'd have to like either bend a bar and stick Dima or Aki's head through, or remove the grate entirely.
I have a ability called See Everything, but it's supposed to work with Get Out of a Jam, so I use awareness instead of Moxie. Can I argue?
What does the ability do?
You see things others miss. Your senses are so sharp you can pick up best routes and options in a blink of an eye.
No, this won't work for this thing. On an exit, yes, but not for this.
Well, I say what we do, Augie, is you grab him by the bird feet there, stick his head through the ceiling, and he can put his peepers to work.
Think I might roll Stand in the Gaps then.
What does that one do?
Find a perfect way to go unnoticed. Roll Sly, and on a success, my presence is undetected in this scene.
Great.
So he just like, and then he can like.
Yeah, perfect. So you guys bend the bars.
Nope.
Outstanding. That is a full-on failure with doubles. So a failure is you get 1 XP and a -1 forward. So you bend the bars as quietly as you possibly can, and Dima sort of, like you put a little raccoon finger out, and Dima can, clamp his bird feet on there as you lower them down onto this. Dima, you notice immediately what they were seeing. In fact, everyone notices immediately because seconds after you are put down there, Dima, a swarm of cameras. Which I felt so clever, I told everyone in my house about this. A swarm of cameras in the form of flies on the wall swarm out of the tunnel and out of the hallway and into the vent shaft where you are. And you see dozens of flies who have spotted you and are making their way out of the tunnel to alert their boss that there has been a security threat.
As she's going to like... trying to
I believe they know we are here.
So you know that in a matter of maybe a minute, maybe two, somebody will be alerted of your presence. So you are going to have to act as fast as possible.
We better make it fast.
So she's just gonna grab the lip and she's gonna like tumble somersault through the hole and land on the floor.
Perfect. Superhero pose. You land. Is Aki still on your shoulder?
No, Aki is now fully wrapped around Augie's head.
Perfect.
Squirrel
scarf.
So the two of you descend. Dima, I assume you sort of fly down as well.
Dima is going to find a perch to sit on.
Unless
Perfect.
he like he's trying to eat the flies. Like,
Yeah. You see a fire alarm.
He might grab a fly on his way down.
Sure. You see a fire alarm like 3/4 of the way up the wall that you can sort of sit on and have a good vantage point.
Mhm.
Aki, you see a stereotypical like bank vault in front of you. It's just ready for you. What are you doing?
She's going to attempt to safe crack this safe.
Okay.
And she's gonna use her playbook move.
Cool.
There is no door.
Perfect. What do you roll for that?
I
Plus
am
sly?
rolling sly,
Okay.
and I have +1 forward. Oh no!
It's okay. +1 forward makes it a 7. So it's technically is it a 7? Is a success with consequences, but it is doubles with an enemy boss.
Oh,
So
no.
So,
doubles.
Mike, is it possible? Here's another question.
Yeah.
Like, we can't assist any playbook moves. Is that right? We can only assist basic moves.
I believe that's true, but even if you do assist, it only gives them a +1 forward, so it would still be she's
just
in
barely
the
a success.
7 to 9 range. So a success with consequences, doubles, and an enemy boss means you get 2 -1 forwards, and you get to give a +1 forward.
Okay. Give +1 forward. I'm gonna give it to Aki.
Okay, so Aki, you have a +1 forward, and Augie, you have 2 -1 forwards.
2 -1.
Fantastic. So you you get this. You've seen this before. You've seen one like this before, right?
Mhm.
You spin the wheel, you press your ear to it, you know what this looks like, and you begin to crank in the left, right, left of this bank vault here. And you open this thing, and you see right behind it is a set of bars, almost like a jail cell.
Mhm.
Fortunately for you, that part is unlocked. And in here, you see, again, much like a bank vault, you see a bunch of like security deposit boxes, each with like names of zoo VIPs. But in the center of this room, you see a large like decorative table. You see that it is decorated with like a jungle theme, almost as if it was like out of an attraction of a nearby theme park. And on top of it is a chest. The chest is locked, and you see a big a series of dials on the chest, and the chest is a bunch of like animal iconography. And you're fairly certain that this is where you'd hide the lucky lizard's eye if you were to hide one.
So it's gonna. It looks like it's gonna take. How big is the chest?
The chest is far too big for the 3 of you to carry.
Yeah. So it's gonna take another crack. Safe crack.
Well, does anyone go into the vault?
Can I take a quick look to see if there's any more security things?
You
in
can
here?
put your peepers to work.
Yeah, I think I'd like to do that. Awareness.
Aki's gonna put his peepers to work
Ooh.
too.
Good lord, another double failure. Oh, I have a -1, so yeah, 5.
Perfect. So you fail as well with doubles. So a failure with doubles, you get 1 XP and you get another -1 forward. Aki, and you have a +1, so that is actually a 10.
No,
so
it's neutral.
Oh,
I had a negative, so
gotcha.
cancel.
So a 9 doubles and an ally boss. So doubles and an ally boss. You get -1 forward. You get to give 2 +1 forwards.
I will give a +1 to Dima and a +1 to Lou.
Okay. Cool. So Lou, you have a +1, and Dima, you have a +1 as well. You look around. You look around and you see that the floor here is slightly different than the rest of the floor you've seen here. You can see that there are little gaps in between all of the tiles. Like there's no grout work here. And you've seen this kind of thing before, Aki, because you know some things about some things. This floor is all pressure plates. And the success with consequence is the only people who can get here are Dima by flying, and you, Aki, if you are thrown, can get to the chest in the middle.
Hey, Og, I don't think you should step in there. See? Pressure plates. We're going to either need Dima or, well, I'm going to have to fly.
flying squirrel. I've always wanted to do that move. And she will hold out her hands.
All right. Aki's gonna scramble down into Augie's hands.
Perfect. Describe this fastball special, please.
Yeah, it's like she's holding like a like a javelin, except she's holding her just by the belly. So she's like, and then she's just going to close one eye, but it's the wrong eye, and then she's gonna like shot put her.
Perfect.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Aki is going to assist by putting himself into a Superman pose.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like Trinity from the Matrix. It's like a full
Yeah.
spiral as you go. I love that. So no roll, just because that was ridiculous. You spiral through, you feel your hands like hit the box and you perfectly curl up and land. Aki lands on top of this thing. Dima, are you joining him in the vault?
Dima is keeping lookout.
Okay, perfect. So you are keeping lookout. Augie, you are outside the vault. Aki, you are inside the vault. You see this chest before you. It looks very old. It is a wooden chest, and you see there are 4 dials, like I think like the briefcase dials, right? There are 4 dials on the face of this that seems to act as the lock mechanism. It seems to be a combination lock, like get the right combination of things in the right order, and it will open up. You also see on this box there is a jungle sort of theme. It kind of matches the table, the decorative table around it, and there are various carvings of animals on here. But of prominence, you see 4 things on here and 4 things on the dials. You see what you recognize as a like a coiled chameleon. You see a grub, like also coiled grub, a bird in flight, and an egg. And you think those things somehow, you see them on the dials, but you have to guess which one, what's the order here for these things.
A coiled chameleon, a coiled grub, a bird in flight, and an egg.
And an egg.
Hey, what would the order be here, y'all?
Just like that time, she trails off. And can I roll my there is no door to try and crack this?
I want a Family Guy style cutaway. It's like that time. What was that time? G. What is this? We see this bubble of thought appear around Augie.
Augie was in Skyrim and had to crack the door on Bleak Falls Barrow.
It's like
No, she's in the tropical exhibit, and there's like a whole bunch of birds. Like I don't know, they're like just I don't know. That's why she trailed off.
Perfect. I will take it. I will take it. Here's what I will say. Because this is more a puzzle and less of a safe crackable lock. If you succeed, I will give you one of the answers for one of the 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will roll sly. Oh, success with sorry, I have a -1, so that's a 6.
A 6 is a failure. Yeah. So
Yeah.
no bonuses.
Also, am I rolling? There is no door. Is that what I'm rolling?
Does that give you any bonuses?
No, but it says 1 to 6. It's going to take time and patience. Gain -1 forward until you're successfully crack it.
Okay. I mean, yeah, sure. I guess if that's your ability, there is no door. Yeah. So you have -1 forward. You have no idea. This is not like any safe you've cracked before. There all seem to be. You've cracked a combination lock, right? You've cracked like key locks. But nothing like this. This is there's no tumblers. You can't listen to it, right? So you're just at afar trying to tell someone how to do this. So you don't know what the combination could be.
Sorry. Just to clarify. Sorry, because I noticed because shout out to Chris Necrotic who made this new character sheet and the Roll20 things that we're all seeing here. There's actually a spot for forwards. that I didn't notice. So I had I had -2 set onto my sheet, and so it automatically included that in my roll. So the 7 is with the -2.
Oh, okay, cool. Great.
Yeah. So a 7, it opens with complication, 7 to 9.
Great.
Sorry
Okay,
about
cool. So that's awesome. That's good to know. So I will give you one of the answers. You get to ask which one. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which one?
Two.
2.
Yeah.
You're putting your peepers to work. You're looking at the box, listening to what Aki says, and you think the way this looks like it's set up is that there are a total of 2 possible correct combinations for this. And the second answer, the second lock is a grub or a chameleon, depending on which answer you choose.
And she's like, the second one is either a grub or the chameleon. Can you explain that a little better or a little differently?
Yeah, so there's 4. Think like a briefcase lock, right?
Yeah, I know what it looks like, but
your best guess is that there are 2 answers, right? Because you got a success with consequence, right? So you got
Right.
two answers. One of the answers, the grub, is the second one. The second answer, the chameleon, is the second one. So you have 2 opportunities here to get like a correct combination of things. So it's there is the, what did I say? The chameleon, the grub, the bird, and the egg. So in one combination, the grub is number 2. In the second combination, the chameleon is number 2. You only need to get one of these correct.
Can Aki commit a caper to try to get another hint?
Yeah, absolutely. So roll me a plus sly.
Nope.
Does that, you don't have any plus ones? Cool. So
I-
your -1 forward, it counted that, so you can
Yes, it did.
check that off. Oh, you didn't fail. Gee, so never mind. Cool. So you look at this thing, and you don't know any of the answers, but you look around, and at first you were like seeing the box and like the jungle sort of theme. You look at it again, trying to figure out what there is, and you see this has a very much like circle of life sort of theme to it, and you think maybe that has something to do with the combination. But as you come to that realization, we cut back to Lou, who has a series of +1s. Lou, the fire is spreading. The carpet has caught fire. You see that there are a bunch of stags sort of, the door explodes open. You see nothing, and then you look down, and a bunch of stags or stag beetles are marching in here. And then you see a cloud of flies sort of into the roof at the ceiling here. The meerkats are trying to take care of the fire. The patrons are confused. They think this is a sham put on by the Chameleon Brothers. There's a big kerfuffle happening. And you see the 3 Chameleon Brothers, who are, again, trying to calm things down in their various ways, note the flies. You see Pascal's tongue sort of latch out, catch one of the flies. They all sort of zoom down. And Lou, you watch the flies, much like the minnows in Finding Nemo, swarm and form the outline of a bank door. And then they swarm and form like a police siren alarm. And you see it like sort of they make like the flashing comic sort of signs. And they form an arrow and point in the direction of the vaults. The security cameras have alerted the Chameleon Brothers that there is a heist happening. So, Lou, what are you doing?
No one likes the grass. So he's gonna sort of like calmly. He's gonna calmly retreat and try and sort of bring the escape plan into motion.
Okay. So you want to sneak out of here. So roll me a sly plus sly. Hell yeah.
Pretty good.
I
So
think
that
we
is
know
a
where all our rolling luck went.
yeah, I know, right?
Mhm.
So that is a full success with doubles on a neutral boss.
Woo!
So that is a great roll for everybody. You get a critical success, meaning whatever you want happens, and everyone gains a +1 forward. So everyone add +1 forward, go into your thing. If you have minuses, you can kind of balance those out. Profo, you can take full control of this scene. What does it look like as you get the hell out of here, get the vehicle, get ready for the escape?
He's a huge, wide orangutan, but somehow he manages to disappear into the crowd that are sort of riled up about this fire, and they're trying to make for the exits. So he calmly, puts back his hat, knocks back his banana daiquiri, and leaves through a convenient fire exit. And I don't know. He flips a coin to the valet who's got the golf cart there, and it's already warmed up, and he pulls it around the back to wherever the closest service exit is to the rear of the casino.
Perfect. Yeah, you absolutely do. You pull around like the Congo Bongo into a back alley. You see like one of the kitchen doors, right? You see like a couple of dumpsters, the kitchen door, and you know that's the closest exit to where they're going to be, and you've positioned this perfectly. In fact, you back in so you can get a fast getaway, right?
Yeah, they can just jump onto the back of the golf cart because I assume it's a zoo type one, so it will have the back for sort of the feed or whatever the zookeepers are transporting.
Exactly. So you have this perfectly executed getaway plan. So we will cut back to Augie, Aki, and Dima. Dima, roll me, put your peepers to work. So plus awareness. A 10. No doubles there. So you look and you look down the hallway, right? Towards where you saw all the flies go. You don't see anything yet, but you hear a kerfuffle happening. And you can tell that maybe a minute before people start to burst through this door. So you can kind of communicate that. You guys are on a timer.
In a greater illusionary trick than the chameleon could ever hope to, Dima somehow materializes a pocket watch that's bigger than him.
Perfect. I love it.
Hey, we got 1 minute.
Plenty of time.
I think Augie and Aki have been chattering back and forth about the possible solution, and Aki arrives on, hey, so birds eat grub, and then eggs hatch into chameleons, right?
I think so. I also eat
So-
grubs, but I don't lay eggs.
I don't eat grubs. I eat fruits.
Yeah.
Well, some birds
And
eat
nuts.
grubs and
Don't
like
some-
and worms.
Worms.
Yeah,
Well,
makes sense.
Aki's not going to pause that long. He's going to try to put in bird, grub, egg, chameleon. See if that
Bird,
works.
grub, egg, chameleon. You slide these things in there, and the grub like locks into place. The other 3 are incorrect.
Really? Oh,
So not bird. Aki's going to try. That makes sense.
so grub's the only one that was correct out of those 3.
Mhm.
The only green one in our Wordle.
In both answers. Okay.
Yeah, in your Wordle, that is correct.
Yeah.
Egg. He's going to put egg in for the first one.
Okay.
Grub. Bird, chameleon. No. Chameleon, bird.
You the whole thing locks into place.
That was a
and
guess.
I was actually thinking the same thing.
And the-
It's
and
like,
the-
does Dima say anything?
and the chest opens a little bit, and you see a plume of dust sort of out of this thing as this ancient chest has opened. Aki, do you open this and see what's inside?
Oh, absolutely.
Perfect. You
Augie's like,
you scramble down and like lift the chest lid off, and you see a chest filled with something, right? But a cloth sort of over whatever that is, and a depression in the middle where you see a gold chain, and in the center of it there is a pendant that looks like it's probably like the size of, I don't know, like a baseball, like a flat baseball, that looks like you plucked the eye out of a lizard, and somebody made this beautiful gem, this pendant that looks like a lizard's eye. You have the lucky lizard's eye. What are you gonna do, and how are you gonna get back out?
Yeah, so Aki's been worrying about that too. But Aki's gonna grab that gem and toss it through the air to Augie.
Okay, you do so.
And then he's gonna look around the room and see what options might be for getting over the floor.
Okay, well, I will say this without needing to put your peepers to work. You are higher than Augie is, so you could try a flying squirrel.
Ooh.
So that's one option. You also know that the flies on the wall have already seen you. So if the pressure plates were an alarm, the alarm's already triggered. If they do something else, that's another story. So it may not be worth your time, or you can try leaping the distance. Other than that, I think those are your only two options.
Well, I like the idea of a flying squirrel. So Aki has an ace in the hole. So it's going to reach into Aki's tiny little bag and pull out a sheet, and is gonna stretch that taut across shoulders and is going to leap across the room, hopefully into Augie's arms.
I love that. Roll me get out of a jam. This is going to be plus Moxie.
Alrighty. Let's give this a try.
Hell yes. So that is a full success with doubles. So you get +1 forward. So you describe how this looks.
Well, first reaches into the bag, pulls out a full ass sheet, stretches them across arms. So now we've got like a full flying squirrel formation with the webbing between the arms and such. Yeah. And then leaps up into the air, and you can, and as he's flying through the air, his little glasses look like aviator goggles, and turn into such, in our animated special. And and then Augie snatches Aki right out of the air.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
It's like catching a paper airplane. It's like,
yeah.
This is a terrible after-school special, though. It's like, hey, kids, commit cool crimes.
That's Looney Tunes. You said pull out a piece of paper, and all I could think of is those episodes in which, like, Tom folds up an airplane and stuffs Jerry in and throws the plane with the mouse in it. So yeah, you fly through, full flying squirrel, get snatched out of the air. As you do, there's this heroic moment. In one hand, Augie has the lucky lizard's eye. The other hand, he has Aki and a crumpled piece of paper. And Dima is is out there, sort of wings back, 1 foot holding a pocket watch, counting the seconds down. And the single door on the end of the corridor bursts open, and you see a fleet of probably 24 stag beetles start to swarm in here, and you see jumping over their backs, 3 chameleons are headed down. They spot you. There's a cacophony of shouts as they're all trying to stop you. Augie, Dima, I ask because Aki is being held currently. How are you getting out of here? What is your plan?
See everything using awareness instead of Moxie for getting out of a jam.
Great. Roll me awareness. Roll me plus awareness. Ooh boy. Success with a consequences. No doubles. Okay. Cool.
Bots too.
That's okay. That only matters if there are doubles. So you know that okay, I will say this. A success with a consequence. You know that you can probably just fly out of here. Like straight through that door. and if the front door is still open, out into the night. And no one will probably recognize you. But your friends cannot do the same. So you know that is the fastest way for you to get out of here. The fastest way for your friends to get out of here is probably the way you came. However, these are slick walls. There's nothing to grab onto, so it's going to be difficult for them to get up there, especially Augie. Augie can be thrown again. You can fly up, but Augie is the trouble. So those are your two quickest ways to get away, Dima. So it depends on what you want. Do you want to get away, or do you want to get away as a crew?
Aki's gonna shout, "We've been made! Make a run for it!"
Scatter!
Hit the bricks.
Is there anything else in this room?
Is that
other than-
Aki's signal to us? Every man for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Well,
want.
Dima's gonna take that at face value, and he's gonna fly up to the vent, and the pocket watch is just gonna dematerialize like into his feathers.
Yeah.
And he's gonna stand at the top of the vent, and he's gonna produce a flare.
Okay. What are you
And-
doing with the flare?
It's a big, full-size road flare, and he's gonna throw it at the dung beetles.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna fire a flare at the dung beetles. What do I? So roll me bop.
I have
It's-
another-
It's
I
not
have
a
a-
weapon.
Oh no,
it's
sorry.
a-
It's
It's
not.
like an actual stick road flare.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
dropping it.
So you're gonna throw it over there. Okay. Roll me. What is it? Precision? Yeah. Roll me precision. Plus precision.
Ah,
Plus
yes, my worst
precision.
stat.
Great.
Oh,
Okay, so 9 doubles and an enemy boss. Outstanding. So on a 9, success with consequences, you get 2 -1 forwards, and you get to give somebody a +1 forward. So who are you giving your +1 forward to?
Augie.
Okay. So Augie, you have a +1 forward. You sort of lob this this road flare at the dung beetles. What's going to be the consequence here? Oh, okay, cool. You lob this thing, and you see it like catch off the little like the back talon of your foot, and it doesn't go down as much as it goes forward, and you see it start to like spin through the air, sort of getting further down the hallway than you anticipated. And as it does so, it just goes high enough to hit the fire alarm, and water just starts to flood this area. The road flare, obviously, they're waterproof. It tumbles down, hits the ground. A bunch of dung beetles scatter at the impact, and also because it's on fire, they are in more chaos. But the whole area is being flooded with water. So now we have a Augie and Aki are completely soaked
That
in
was
water.
not completely planned, but that works.
okay. So.
Throw me lizard eye.
She doesn't want to.
Aki looks at Augie and says,
You never trust the Russian. And she's going to she's going to
For good reason.
let's see, what can I roll here? She is going to try and do what do you call it? Bring the heat or something like that. And she is going to do a thing to try and get past
What's the thing?
she has a bag full of lowbrow poo. But
I still have that.
but
Son of a bitch! When it comes back to bite you in the ass, the bag of shit.
You could say this group is
forgot.
full of shit.
But another thing that the safe cracker comes with is dynamite. So-
Okay.
Oh,
inside the bag of
no.
shit goes the dynamite, and she's gonna toss
He's
it
making a stink bomb.
to make us a shit bomb, so they can escape.
Um, Someone quote that. My mod's in the game. G, roll me fucking
Your mom's the one that said it.
it's gonna be bring the heat, but I feel like that's just raccoon enough to be nonsense.
Yeah. I also have a talent called Boom, where I know how to maximize the effectiveness of my explosives.
Roll that.
Yeah.
Fucking
So I can use Sly instead of Precision. and I
perfect.
have-
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Roll Sly. Roll your best stat. Fucking
go.
stupid. Stupid.
That's with a +2 forward. So success with consequence.
Okay. So no bonuses there. So you throw you throw a dynamite filled bag of shit down a hallway that is currently filling with water and has a road flare in it. So imagine this action film. This on Ocean's 14. This this slick cave wall in the reptile house of the zoo, this tunnel with like 2 or 3 water sprayers for the fire alarm are spraying water down. A sea of dung beetles are sort of climbing / swimming through as 3 chameleons go through. The whole hallway is bathed in red light, and that is like reflecting off the water, coming off of the road flare. We still see in one hand is Aki, in the other hand is the eye. The eye gets added to Aki. A bag of shit comes out. A dynamite goes in, and the whole thing gets thrown over as this explodes, causing a shitty backdraft as this explosion scatters dung beetles. You see Cam and Leo smack against the wall as poo just rains down onto these dung beetles. They were blown back by the force of the explosion, but now hot shit scent fills the air, and the dung beetles are confused and distracted as they begin to habitually roll up these balls of poo into a larger ball. And
We're like, wow, this is lowbrow.
oh god damn it!
Keep describing this thing.
But
That's the greatness
if
of this
this
game.
is lowbrow, when were we ever highbrow?
Yeah. It's like the worst game of Katamari Damacy as they begin to roll this into a giant shitball together in the hallway.
Oh, yes.
You have distracted everyone, including me. How are you getting out of here?
She's just running on all fours, and she's just doing her best Trash Panda impression in between feet, over top something else, like through a chair,
Okay.
under a table, like circles the table, and then
Are
out.
you still holding Aki?
Yes. Well,
Cool.
or I'm assuming Aki's holding on to me
Perfect.
because I'm all fouring it.
Great. So I'm gonna have you roll Get Out of a Jam, but before you roll, I will give Aki a chance to tell me how he helps you.
Aki is since Agi is very paying attention to running as fast as possible, Aki's keeping his eyes open and is providing directions and telling Agi about incoming problems.
Okay, perfect. So Augie, make me that Moxie check at +1.
Sweet. So do I do a?
Just add
Like
a
a
forward,
forward?
maybe.
Yeah, act like you have +1 forward.
So it just zeroes out my -1 to
Great.
Moxie.
Perfect. An 11, hell yeah. So an 11 is a full success. So it's not a crit, but describe how you get past this red shit water-filled room, and where you go from here.
Yeah, so she's just like galloping on all fours, and then Aki is like holding onto her ears and is like whispering like left, right, over there, ah! And so she's like running, and then she leaps, and it's like slow motion, and then Aki like grabs like a peanut or something like that off like out of
And
someone's hand.
There's splashes of wet poo
Yeah.
flinging up behind
Yeah, and it's like
Agi's feet.
it's like catches it's like the lens flare.
And there's a lens flare.
And just
Lens flare.
as we're making the door, it's like they go through like the waterfall curtain.
Yeah, the poo
They go
waterfall.
through-
And all of a sudden, J.J. Abrams comes out, lens flares it. It's a whole
Yeah.
thing.
I like
Um,
the slow mo pause in midair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I like how like the whole room just became filled with
We see we see that
It's a
moment
shit
where
scene.
Augie with Aki on the back like a cape leaps over like the chameleons, and there's that
Yeah.
slow-mo shot where like the camera sort of pans around. We see the individual droplets, and then it sort of cuts to one of the flies, and you see like the slow motion, and the different facets of the eye or the different camera lenses where we see Augie pass through all these different shifting shapes and then land in this room and then skid out into the carpeted casino. Jesus Christ. What? I just the end. Where are you going? Where are you going from here? You know there's a getaway, but you didn't actually establish where the getaway vehicle would be. So where are you going?
I think we rode the getaway vehicle here though, so
You did, but you know that leaving out the front door might not be the best spot for a getaway.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the kitchen.
Okay. So you slide across the carpeted floor. The flies are buzzing around. You see more of the dung beetles. Dima, you see your friends leave this hallway. You know, as I said, you can get out that way, but you're already in the air vent. Are you going out through the roof, or are you going to follow them?
I guess Dima will see them outside. And he goes up through roof.
Great. So you buzz out through the roof. Roll me an awareness. Oh, actually, you have what's your Moxie one? The ability you have, the see everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll me that. So plus awareness.
Mhm.
Oh boy,
I can't
hot
roll
damn.
good today.
Ooh.
The dice hate me today.
They are not your friend
Yeah.
today. You also had a plus. You had 2 minus.
I had a -2.
Yeah, you had -2 forward.
Yeah.
So
So
that would
was
be,
like that would have been a 5. So it would have
yeah.
failed
So
anyway.
it still would have failed. So that is a double on a failure. Which is let's see, doubles on a failure. You get 1 XP, and you also get +1. Sorry, -1 forward. So you fly out. And you are disoriented. Maybe it's the explosion, maybe it's the red light, maybe you lost your night vision, but you zoom out of the roof and you are disoriented. You know you can fly away, but you know you were supposed to meet at a getaway vehicle, and you know your friends haven't made it out yet, so you're in this sort of state of confusion as you burst out into the night sky, free, but ultimately a little confused. Lou, you are waiting for your friends in the back alley of the Chameleon Casino. What are you doing as you wait for this? You're unaware of anything. You can't hear an explosion. You can't hear any. There's no siren, so they must have put the fire out.
He's just keeping a lookout. He's
Okay.
done this 100 times before.
Cool.
He
Roll.
just got his feet up. He's like,
Yeah, he's the coolest ape. He's got the radio on. He's listening to him some Bill Haley in the Comets or something like that.
Love that. Roll me awareness. Roll me
Okay.
plus awareness. Hell yeah, 9 success with the consequences. So you look around, and you begin to hear like the sound of running feet, but you notice it doesn't sound like animal feet. It sounds like someone in shoes, which is not common here. Perhaps a security guard, perhaps the zookeeper himself. You're not entirely sure, but you know that your friends have to get out of here, or you're going to be caught by someone you definitely don't want to be caught by.
Lou's gonna take from under his several jackets his Colt 1911 with the banana wood inlays and take the safety off.
Okay.
He's gonna ice whoever shows up.
Okay, so you are locked and loaded. You have the vehicle started, you're ready to go, and out of the side door explodes Augie and Aki, wet and smelling like shit. as they explode out of the kitchen. You see a swarm of flies behind them. You hear shouts are through the kitchen, the banging of pots and pans as there's just a raucous like trail of people behind them. Burst forward into this thing. No sign of Dima at this moment, but Augie and Aki, you explode out of the kitchen. You see Lou is ready to go, foot on the pedal, vehicle turned on, but one of his hands is pointed out there with his pistol pointed down the alleyway. What are the two of you doing as you explode out onto the scene?
I think Aki has grabbed like a spatula as as Augie ran through the kitchen and has been swatting flies.
I love that. Just for fun, roll me bop.
Let's see, that's wild. Okay.
And Augie's been catching garbage.
Of course.
7.
So 7, yeah. So you're swatting these flies. You see they're just like falling as you just like whack-a-mole with these things. You see every once in a while like one of them hits a wall, hits the ground. You were eliminating several of these flies as Augie just collects random shit. Well, I guess random trash to be specific in this case. And you guys
our shit is something different. Okay.
Yeah, it's different. I have to clarify in this game.
Next time
apparently.
I'm getting a T-shirt with "I love garbage" on.
Yeah.
So we're playing Zoo Mafia with Augie.
The two of you skid out onto the scene. You see Lou is ready to go. And you see at the end of the alleyway, you see it's so stupid. Why did I write this? You see a cat in shoes. This sort of running, like making stomping noise, like making too many steps for a cat. Like kitten mittens, and you
Puss in
see,
Boots.
yeah, you see, like scattering across the alleyway is Mario, and he stops. And clearly his ruse did not work. But he looks at the alleyway, looks at all of you, and he looks back on the other side and goes, "They're over here!" And you see swooping down into the alleyway is Al Capone, who is now set up at the end of the alleyway.
I'm gonna be the orangutan that shoots Al Capone.
You see
The
two of the
owl
gorilla
himself.
goons. Yeah, you see two of the gorilla goons over to the edge of this thing. Lou, if you
We
want
were
to fire
tricked.
a classic double cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dima, you see Al Capone swoop down, and you can hear they're over here. So you kind of have an idea that your friends might be nearby.
Lou's gonna throw the cart into gear with his lower hands, and he's like, "It's the bullet on the cart, Capone."
Okay, all right.
And he's gonna hit Al Capone at full force if the idiot doesn't get out of the way, because he's small, the gorillas are big.
Okay.
And also, he's not some sort of racist that's gonna go run over, mow down his fellow simians. He lives with those guys. Some of those guys are his neighbors.
That's fair. Okay. So, Jesus, Dima, you hear they're over here. Are you moving? What are you doing?
Dima, he's going to swoop and kind of keep like a hovering position above.
Okay,
He's
so
gonna
you
try to stay a little bit out of sight because Dima does not want to mess with the owl.
That's also fair. Cool. So you see the scene. You're sort of like a news helicopter, flying around. You see this whole thing happen. Mario is there. There was a double cross. You see Al Capone, two of the gorillas. Al Capone is testing his luck, Lou. So he is not getting out of the way. So I'm gonna need you, unless you have some sort of speedster road demon ability. I believe this is gonna be a moxie.
Yeah. Okay, give it a go.
So are we
Holy
moving?
shit balls!
I gave it a go.
Holy shit!
Okay, that is a critical success, doubles, and an ally boss. So you get a critical success, and you get to gain a marker. So because this is the final moments of this episode, I will remind everyone that a marker lets you create a success if you spend one, negate damage, negate a move by me, add damage, or completely edit the scene. So I'm giving you full creative control of the outro of this one shot, Profo, with that amazing roll.
Well,
So
Lou's
how does this
gonna-
scene look like?
Lou's gonna floor it, and he's gonna do a handbrake turn into Al Capone, and have the other two grab him and onto the back of the cart and restrain him with whatever's back there, cable ties. It could be a mechanical cart for repairs around the place. And yeah, we're gonna kidnap Al Capone tonight
Perfect.
and
So
hold him for ransom.
So we see the Congo bongo, like the back wheels spin up, smoke goes, more of the dung beetles and chameleons begin to come out of the kitchen. It like he shifts gears, it takes off. There's that like not even handbrake, like he grabs the pole, like the drain pipe, and like grabs it around, and we see Augie and Aki reach out, grab Al Capone. The shock plays across his beak as Dima sort of swoops around. And we see the Congo Bongo abscond into the night. As I think just for flavor, Augie still has the Lucky Lizard's eye in one hand, the other hand grabbing Al Capone, and as the Congo Bongo makes it around the side of the building on the alleyway, we see the Lucky Lizard's eye wink, and that is where we will end this one shot of Zoo Mafia. What a ridiculous time.
Nice dissolve with that Lucky Lizard's eye.
Oh, Jesus.
We got lucky, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
It's as advertised.
Perfect. That couldn't have been a better roll to end on. I don't know if you paid Chris off for
Dima
that.
fluttering off like
Yeah.
through the black screen.
Yeah. Like the iris is out, and as it's going closed, we see Dima through the little hole, and it's
Yeah.
and I see that scroll of the end, right?
Yeah.
Out fucking
That's all,
standing.
folks.
What a show. What a finale. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought that shit would come back into play? God damn it.
We all contributed to the shit of the bag of shit.
I'm gonna send this to Nerdarchy for they can put this on their website to sell the game. Oh my god. Okay, so before we go around,
As long as you get your 20%, you remember the vid.
it's true. That's true. Before we go around and do our outroductions, I will remind you that if you head over to nerdarchy.com, you can sign up for their newsletter. If you Google Zoo Mafia, it's like the first or second link. You can sign up for the newsletter. You can get access to the quick start guide for this game. I believe it is free at this moment. It's not officially released yet. This is just a quick start guide. But Nerdarchy is making this game. It's super fun. We've done a handful of one-shots here. If you want more, you can watch those. If you want even more, they have a 2-season campaign going on over on their channel. So definitely go check that out. And if you like what we do here on this channel, which is a lot of these shenanigans, check us out over on Patreon. You get access to all of our after shows for the last 3 years by subscribing at the $5 tier. You get access to private streams. We're starting a new Q&A show. We're starting a new like office hours show. We got a bunch of like Patreon stuff coming out soon. So definitely worth checking out. And if you join us at the $5 tier at this moment, there's a 7-day free trial so you can see what it's all about. Join us in Discord, join the Patreon private chat, link for that down below as well. But with that, I will say thank you everyone for being here. Thank you to this fucking amazing crew. This was ridiculous. Let's go around, do our outroductions so that we can get the hell out of here and talk about this in the after show about what the hell just happened. Let's start with the lucky man himself, Profo. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
I'm El Profo, and when I'm not contributing a little too much on the unMadeGaming wiki, the fanfic section, it explains itself, okay? And when I'm not drifting go-karts, I can be found as El Profo in all of the places.
Hell yeah. Matt, you're up next. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
I'm Matt or D on the Discord playing Dima, and when I'm not being cursed by the gods of dice, you'll find me on Mike's Discord.
Hell yeah. Melissa, you're up next. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
Hi, y'all. Melissa Draftier on Twitch and on Discord. I am much like Profo, a fan artist, and you can find my art, most of it for Unmade Gaming games, on gameswithstories.com. And yeah, that's it.
Hell yeah. And last but not least, G, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Hello, I'm G, your friendly neighborhood lightning invoker. You'll find me at all things Unmade Gaming for all the Patreon stuff and modding during the week. And next weekend, we should have an episode of The Rise, which is the monthly campaign for Patreon. And you'll find me in the Discord all the time, and you can find me lurking around Twitter.
Hell yeah. That's it from us. Find us everywhere. Join us in the Discord. Check us out on Twitter. All those fun things. And follow all these people and read all their things and view all their things with your peepers. And that's it from us. If you like these shenanigans, come back for more every week for all kinds of stuff. And go check out our YouTube channel. Link for that down below. But that's it from us. We'll see you next time. So from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.
Bye.